Welcome to the Wildcast podcast, coming to you from Wildcast Studios with your hosts Adam Lund and Jeremy Boucher.
Welcome into Wildcast Studios on Rogers TV for another episode of the Wildcast podcast, your unofficial voice for all things Moncton, presented by Alpha Solutions, the premier destination for all KitchenAid and Maytag appliances. Right now, they got the KitchenAid Cook Up the Savings event. Save $300 when you purchase any 3 KitchenAid appliances, or $400 when you purchase any 4, or $500 when you purchase any 5. Qualifying purchases must be made before October 30th. As always, fan listeners, I am your host, Adam Lund, and I am joined by Mr. YQM, Mr. Oh, it's too many names. Mr. Jeremy Boucher.
Keep going.
Keeps going. How was the Thanksgiving, man?
Yeah, Thanksgiving was good. It was a little bit of the usual, celebrations and
Ham guy, turkey guy. What are we having?
a big turkey guy.
Big turkey.
Yeah. So we always went to my parents, and it's always always lovely when they're together, when we're all together as a family.
Yeah.
Not an ounce of drama that goes on. Absolutely not. No, we had our feast, and that was pretty much it. Watched some football together.
How'd that go?
Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw my first Drake May start in the NFL. Surprisingly, I made it through a game without turning it off when he threw his first interception, because I'm actually excited.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited for this guy. So in the past, if there was what was his name? Mac Jones.
Mac Jones
interception, I would just turn the game off or go to a different run right off the bat. I couldn't stand that guy whatsoever. A total bust. But I believe in Drake May.
I believe it's actually a revenge game this week too for Mac Jones in Jacksonville. You got to feel for London. Like, they're excited to get these football games, and they get stuck with the Jags year after year. So what do they get now? They get the 1-5 Patriots against the 1-5 Jags. And I believe in November, Germany gets Carolina and the New York Giants. Like,
beautiful.
These teams may not have 3 wins combined by the time they play in Germany. And I get that the NFL is trying to get their product out there and get everything, make it global. We may see a Super Bowl over in London at some point, but and I know why teams don't want to go over there. That's a lot of travel for the West Coast teams. And I mean, you get your bye week after, but yeah, I was hoping for Drake May yesterday as well, or Sunday as well. More so for him to throw interceptions, because I had the Texans defense in my fantasy league. Didn't help me much as he continued to put up points, but for the few minutes I watched that game every now and again, he looked pretty good.
Yeah, you can see his potential.
It's more of an offensive line thing than a Drake May thing.
Yeah, exactly. But he had his mistakes, but at the same time, it was his first NFL game, so it's not that's to be expected. And yeah, the whole London games and Germany games, if you're gonna expand your NFL market, just bring a game to Toronto or Vancouver or something, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, they did try the Toronto thing; it didn't really go over well.
I think if you brought a team to Canada, it would pick up.
Yeah, and for those that follow my Twitter, something just came on. For those that follow my Twitter, that's on the screen right now. On Sundays, obviously the Bucks got a fantastic game up in New Orleans. Always fun to watch those guys beat up on the Saints. I hate the Saints. Hell's Kitchen got up, sir?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, it was a pretty easy pick to make. Like,
it was. I was actually surprised somebody went home. You'd think when 2 guys go home for health reasons, they would just say, this is your last chance, get back in line, kind of thing. But to see 3 guys go in one episode doesn't happen very often.
No, and maybe Gordon, you do your show the way you do your show. That's why you're famous. But maybe we don't wake people up at 5:30 in the morning to move a bunch of huge, heavy, ice-filled things of fish.
Yeah,
like I really feel bad for Shant and Yuri. Like, it's
tough.
That's a tough way to go out when you're, you have the ability to do this, and then you go out because you lifted something wrong on an absolutely meaningless morning.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But you have to show that you can be a leader. Yeah. And if you wake up and at 5 o'clock in the morning and can lift big boxes full of seafood, you're in good shape. And
or you can get your restaurant ready to go if something goes awry. You're there early enough to make things happen. But yeah, and then Corbin going home. I talked more in that episode than I think Corbin did.
Yeah, he was. He looks good like the first episode. Like he was putting up good food, but then he just started to stop talking, having food brought back. It's a recipe for disaster.
100%. You got a guess on who the woman is that goes across?
No,
I think it's Wit.
Think so?
I think it's Wit. Yeah,
but we'll see. It's based on the preview, it doesn't seem like things go very well.
No, it seems like it starts off going pretty well, and then it like always. I think it's going to be a woman winning this season. I can't see any. I mean, we both picked a dude, but I can't see the way they're going right now. They can barely get out of dinner service.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of the guys that are standing out, but yeah, by far the women are running the show right now for sure.
Yes, as always, you can. Sorry, I asked you if you had turkey or ham, right?
Yes, you did.
You have turkey all the time?
Turkey, yeah. So
Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving?
So turkey is Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter or New Year's is ham.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go with ham just because it's the two of us. I'm not a big turkey guy. I can have it the day of, have it the day after, but like not a turkey soup, not a 3 days after turkey kind of thing. So we made a agreement. Go ham and Thanksgiving because it's just two of us. And I mean, my work gives us a turkey. It's still in my freezer, like from last Christmas.
I'll take it.
Yeah, from last Christmas. So I mean, if they give us another one at Christmas, I definitely give that one to you. I know I've given them out on the show before, but just with the two of us for the last time this time, and even next year probably won't be eating a lot of turkey with the little one. But I'm more of a ham,
a chambon
type person. So.
Every episode I should teach you a new French word. That should be our new thing.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be, and I just try to use it, like teach me at the start, and then I just try to use it somewhere else in the show. We kind of talked off air a little bit. Would you like to gloat on your start with the Calgary Flames being 3-0 as the Oilers are 0-3?
Well,
3 goals and 3 losses. I think we need a goaltender.
Ask me how late or how many minutes of these 3 games I've watched.
I'm going to say like 60 of the 3, so 3 periods.
Honestly, I didn't watch a minute of Calgary and Edmonton, and I watched the home opener because I knew there would be a Johnny Gaudreau tribute.
Yeah,
I think I watched
very
the
well
first.
done, by the way.
Very, very well done. Yeah. Probably the first period of that game I watched, and then their season opener was they played Philly home opener. And Edmonton, who did they play? Was it?
Played Philly on Saturday night.
Who did they play in their season opener? Was it Chicago?
No, they play Chicago now.
Why can I can't remember what who they played like 3 games ago. Anyways, didn't watch any of that game. So yeah, I've watched about 20 minutes of their 180 minutes of hockey that they played so far. So we'll off to a good start here.
Yeah, the positives for the Oilers is Jack Michaels is doing more of the games. He did the Hockey Night in Canada game against Chicago. Loved it. Nothing against Hunter Ryan, but I just like Jack Michaels' call. That's the positive. When I'm talking about the announcer,
Vancouver.
When I'm talking about the announcer, things aren't going well. At some point the season will start in Edmonton. I'm not sure when, but at some point the season will start.
They're like the Oilers. They're like the Eagles. They're slow starters.
Yeah, and hey, we went 2-9-1 last year and got to
fired the coach, and
so maybe we're going 0-9, and then we'll actually get it over the hump. But
lost the Sharks, and that was it.
Yeah, I think the Stanley Cup hangover is a real thing, and I think the fact that there was a lot of turnover is also a real thing. All right, don't forget, as always, you can follow us on the social medias: Twitter, Moncton Wildcast, Instagram, Wildcast Podcast, TikTok, Wildcast Podcast, as well here on YouTube. Don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button. Lets us know you like what we're doing, and click the bell. You won't want to miss any of our podcast post games this season. I don't have a quick question for you, so I guess we should probably just
dive right into it.
Dive right into the news and notes.
News and notes from around the queue.
All right, news and notes presented by Integrity Lawn Care. The leaves are starting to fall. God, I just love looking at them. They're so pretty all the time. It actually makes me jealous that I don't have a tree.
I've got 3 trees.
Yeah.
And let me point out one thing. If it wasn't for the placement of Avery's trampoline,
yeah,
there would probably be 1,000 gajillion leaves on the ground right now. They're so stacked. They're all stacked up in the trampoline, so it's perfect. Just go in there and throw them in a bag, and you're good. And they're also a lot are landing on our back deck, so it's also perfect. But there's still a pretty significant amount in my backyard, so I'll need a leaf blower.
Yeah. I don't want a tree because the roots can get in and they can mess up your plumbing into the street. So that's why I don't want it. B, I don't want to gather up all the leaves, but man, driving around town, you see like people's houses and they got a bright red, bright orange, all this. I'm just like,
that's my backyard right now.
Yeah, it's I love it. It's the best part of living out here in the fall. Anyways, the leaves are starting to change. They're starting to fall on the ground, and that means you got to clean them up as we get ready for winter. So if you don't want to do it yourself, check out Integrity Lawn Care on Instagram or give them a call, 506-866-8218, or email them at integritylawn.care@hotmail.com. I think the biggest news of the week, rumors again are starting to fly about the QMJHL. We're relocating to Newfoundland. We've seen some reports. I mean, we almost went with as sources reporting because that's basically what was going on all of last week. You lived here during the St. John's Fog Devils. B, I don't understand how it works, how the owners in the league and the league itself is just like, sure, we'll fly teams over there for 2 games at a time. Like, I don't understand how it's going to work or how these teams want. Like, I know Newfoundland would want to go, but I don't understand how it would work financially for this league.
It's tough. That's why it's never worked out.
Yeah.
That's why when these rumors start coming out, I'll believe it when I see it. I don't think we're going to see a team in Newfoundland. All these hockey pundits and insiders are saying it's pretty much a done deal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to believe it until I see it. Until I see a team with a logo and all this other jazz, for me right now, I just think it's rumors. There's logistically, financially, it's not going to work. If you're going to move a team, just put it somewhere in Quebec or bring a team back to the States or something like that. Something where it's not going to cost a fortune to go play for 2 games. I mean, you're not going to bust these players over.
No.
It's 10 hours from the ferry in Sydney just to get to St. John's. Imagine a Rouyn-Noranda road trip from there to St. John's. It's 20 hours
just to get here.
Yeah. And
But
then
like
another 6 to get to Sydney.
Yeah.
And then another 10 hours to get to Newfoundland.
Yeah. So imagine their road trip is Halifax, Cape Breton, St. John's.
Yeah.
Like, what?
It just doesn't make sense.
For one game. One game for Rouyn-Noranda.
Yeah. Financially, I can't see it happening. Great. If it happens, great.
Yeah.
Bring back the Fog Devils. It was a great name.
Sure was. Actually, that was the Q's question the other day. I don't know if it's still there.
Not too keen on the name, but we all know how original the Q likes to get.
Oh, yeah. It's gone now, but it was like, which team would you bring back? The Maniacs, the Fog Devils, and then I can't remember the other two. And the Fog Devils and the Maniacs were like
Plattsburgh Pirates.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Granby Predators.
That's a good one.
The Beauport Harfangs.
Yeah, if you have time, go to the Q and go back to the playoff brackets and go way back to like look at some of the names that were
the St. Hyacinth Lasers.
Yeah.
The Moncton Alpines.
Yeah, like move a team. And this can't be easy on Bathurst. Like their fans almost every season, are they here? Are they not here? Are they here? Like there's no point in getting season tickets if you think the team's not going to be arriving.
No. It's been ongoing for 5 years now. Every time you turn around, the Tetons are moving.
Yeah. To Like
Great.
I would rather if they're gonna move and then expand and have 2 teams in the States in the two, so you at least travel wise for these Quebec teams, it makes more sense because I don't know how you're going to have that flying over for one game and then flying back to play Cape Breton and Halifax or Cape Breton and Charlottetown, or it just doesn't, unless you're going to take 2 teams over and or 3, all 3 of the road trip, but then your schedule is going to be so messed up. All these things are coming out with per source this and per source that. Until it actually is set in stone, I can't see it making.
I'm the same way. Like I said,
Like if you're having trouble in Bathurst, just move to Campbellton, take over that rink.
well,
Like, if you can't find an owner there, Campbellton's having success, move over there. Like, duel with them. Like, try to keep
the thing with Campbellton, it's not, the rink isn't big enough. Like I think you need at least a 35 or 4,000 seat arena for it to work, and even that, like, there's not many of those around that don't have an occupant already. So I don't know. Like I said, it happens. This rumor comes around every year. Nothing comes of it. So I'll wait until there's a logo. I'll wait until this team has an Instagram account or a Facebook page or what have you, and then I'll start to believe it.
Yeah, so Campbellton's arena's got 3,500 for hockey. I was trying to see what Randa's arena was for hockey because it seems, but they've got a higher bowl. So it does suck for these kids, for the billets, for the players. Just like be mindful when you're retweeting it and tweeting that kind of stuff. Like this does take a toll on these players, and hey, credit to them. They're off to a hell of a start with all this surrounding. The Atlantic part of the QMJHL Cup finished up this past weekend. Team Nova Scotia outlasted Team New Brunswick to take home the trophy. We've talked a lot off air. We don't expect to have a pick high in the draft.
Nope.
So are there any names that caught your eye from this tournament or anything that you kind of were hearing as our draft guru?
Well, to be honest, the thing I don't like about this tournament is it's Thanksgiving weekend. So there's not much time to really tune in. But I really like Nova Scotia's goalie, Sam Bertiome. They've got another player by the name of Fenwick McLean, which is a great name.
That is a great name.
I believe his dad, Don McLean, won a President's Cup with Gatineau back in the day. Jesse Dunlop from New Brunswick here had a good tournament. And there's another Murphy. I can't think of his first name from PEI. Kind of stood out for me. But other than that, like didn't really get a chance to watch much. It's our media passes apparently work to get in.
Yeah.
But
the
Monktonians next month, so I'll be. These are basically the same players you see at the Monktonian.
Yeah. But with their own crew, they're not.
Yeah,
it's not like an all-star type game.
Yeah, with the exception of there's the players that are actually in the States or what have you are not at the Monktonian, because all the play, like if there's a Nova Scotia prospect who's playing in the States, he comes home for Thanksgiving to play in the Challenge Cup. So it's a little different, but the Monktonian should be pretty fun. I'll be there. I usually spend my weekends at the Monktonian.
And again,
just to kind of get an idea of what we're looking at. But I agree with you. We're
looking at depth names, not guys that are in the top level of this of this draft.
We're going to be banking on those late round picks again, I think, going into Quebec City.
Quebec City, which is generally a good time, a good thing to have. That means you're going to be having success. Sea Dogs made another acquisition. Zach Moran left Youngstown, I think.
Youngstown Phantoms. Yep.
Fun fact, there's a town 40 minutes east of Hannah called Youngstown. It has a whopping 400 people in it.
It's not where he's from.
It's not where he's from.
Not where he's playing. No.
Now, this is, again, another excellent recruiting by them. Do you think, how much of this do you think is St. John doing their due diligence and getting him here? And how much do you think is the NCAA rule that helps propel this, as we kind of talked about a little bit last week?
Well, I had heard that He was potentially going to go play for Blainville after Christmas last year, but decided to go back to the States. And I think St. John took him in the draft in Moncton and kind of kept tabs on him. And I think it's partially because of this NCAA thing, because you can play, maybe 2 or 3 years in St. John and then go back. I think he was committed to Boston University.
Yep.
Well, pay a couple of years in St. John and maybe go play NCAA. So this ruling could definitely be a huge benefit to a lot of these teams that are looking to bring up some talent from the States. And, we've got one that we're going to maybe keep an eye on after the World Juniors and see if maybe we can have him do the same. I know he's off to a pretty good start with Boston University. He's got 2 goals in 2 games, but
if you need our help, Taylor, we're here.
Yeah. I don't know if that's, if he's playing regular shifts and at BU, I don't know if Irisman will leave.
Yeah.
But look, if he's still eligible to go back, if he just plays, it's a rental. If he's a rental for the Wildcats, right?
That's all you need.
And then just goes back to BU next season.
Thanks.
If that works, that's going to work out in our favor and work out in his favor. It's something maybe pitch him at.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a win-win for everyone, really.
Because you got to assume. You got to assume the McDougals, or the younger one, will be in Ottawa for the World Juniors, kind of scouting some talent, and there could be a conversation there to say, this is what we could potentially do for you, and don't know if it's going to happen. I'm sure we're going to mention his name every episode until we see him show up in Moncton, which we don't know. It would be nice if it does, but I'm not like a team in Newfoundland.
Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah. No. Gardner could be in for the World Juniors. Wildcats are off for a bit, so he could be there. Everyone's off over Christmas, but he could be there, partaking in some of that. But again, like Newfoundland, you're right. It's fun to make the assumption that it could happen, and it's fun to be on this podcast and talking about what could happen. And again, you may tune in a random episode in January and Jeremy's eating his shorts, because that's what he said 2 years ago if Cole Eiserman ever puts on a Wildcats jersey.
Well, that's a lot of
hot sauce.
A lot has changed since.
Yes, but some never forget.
Yeah. The internet is forever.
Yeah, absolutely. But will it happen? Unlikely, but it's something just to keep an eye on, because that's what this NCAA agreement will end up happening, and you'll get some guys that you didn't expect would be here for at least a couple of years. 41 players were named to Team Canada's 2024 Under-17 Championship roster from November 3rd to 9th in Sarnia, Ontario. QMJHL had a few of those players. Maddox Desjardins was one of them, who in the queue, he's got 11 points in 7 games. He's just one of 4 16-year-old players, along with Esposito, LaRue, and Nathan McKinnon, who have scored at least 10 points in the first 7 Q games of his career.
Pretty good.
And I really wish I would have picked that guy for Rookie of the Year, because my guys got off to a tough start. Cameron Chartron for Team Red from St. John and Bishop Kearney's. Roman L'Italien from Cape Breton. Maddox Desjardins from Quebec. And my Rookie of the Year pick, Chad Ligastakos from Shawinigan, is on Team Red. Team White's got Anton Poirot from Bathurst, Benjamin Cosset Ayot from Val-d'Or, and Jaden Plouffe from Chicoutimi.
Do you know those 2 names that aren't on those lists? 2 guys from St. John, Rozzy and your Red, which is a shock.
Yeah,
that was a shock to me when that list came out and I didn't see those 2 names. I was very surprised.
Yeah, because they, that's a bonus for St. John, who's been going pretty well right now. But again, that's just when you don't see those type of players on the list. That's a pretty good. Oh, Joe Aginla, the O Kings, he's on that team. Team Red,
one of probably the better of the Aginlas. Yeah, it's weird. Usually, a top 5 pick is almost a shoe-in to play U17s. So it's, very, very surprising.
Yeah, but they can't have everything, right?
No. But, you're the guy that got picked by St. John, Cam Chartrand, was 20th overall or something like that. Yeah. And he's there. It's different.
Yeah. But hey, then this is the same tournament last year that was in PI that Caleb Denway ended up winning.
Yeah.
finishing like last in the conference and peaking at the right time with Team White there with what was the goaltender's name? Plays for Brantford or plays for the Steelheads.
Jack Ivankovic.
Yeah, Ivankovic. Yeah, he was there. He was a goaltender. No team of the week because it is Monday, the holiday when we recorded this.
Mm-hmm.
No player of the week. We were hoping to be back. We had a fan listener reach out, Shadow Wolf, on Twitter, and he was looking for the Boucher Q team of the week.
Unprepared. Totally forgot. I have to start. I might start bringing my laptop again there next week so I can put my my team of the week together. So it'll be back. Give me another week here. Promise made.
Yeah. You know what, Brandon? Here's the thing. It's Thanksgiving, and there was a game on the Monday as well. Like it was going to be tough. It was going to be tough, but we'll get back to that shortly for you. But I gotta believe Sump's going to be on it. By the time you hear this, I feel like Sump will be on that Q team of the week.
Yeah, he had a pretty monster week. Yeah, he had 6 or 7 points. He had 4 against Sherbrooke, and we'll
find out a little bit later.
2,
but yeah,
he
might even be player of the week. Although Catafor has been off to a heck of a start. In what? He's been off to quite the start down in Rimouski right there for them.
Up in Rimouski.
Up in Rimouski.
Yeah.
Up is down and down is up. Who knows? All right. Do you want to get to our team there, sir?
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
That's kind of what we're here for, and that's what the people are here for.
Weekly Rewind.
All right, the Wildcats continue their winning ways with a pair of long weekend wins over the Phoenix, the number 2 team Phoenix, and the Islanders. Yeah, not anymore. That's a tough road trip for them. Over the Phoenix 9-3 and over the Islanders 5-1 on Monday, bringing the record to 6-1-1 for 13 points, 3rd in the Maritimes and 4th in the conference. 6-1-1, 3rd in the Maritimes because Bathurst is doing things. St. John is playing great. Halifax
we got 2 games in hand.
We do. It's not very often you have a 6-1-1 start and teams that are like 5-3 and 7-3 are ahead of you in the standings just because they got a couple more games played. Saturday was country night. Yeah, Cowboys came out shooting guns a-blazing, and they were all over the Phoenix for 25 minutes.
Yep.
And they took their foot off the gas.
Yep.
And I looked at you with about 4 minutes left in the second, 6-3 while they were killing a penalty, and I said, we got to get out of the second period here without giving up a goal and reset. And the fact that I had to utter that in a 6-3 hockey game, you can't take your foot off the gas in this league.
Nope. And that was a prime example. The team scored 9 goals, and we weren't happy with the effort. It was like, they might have only played 20, 25 minutes of the game if they're lucky. They got off to a really fast start, and got three right off the bat. And that kind of settled the team into the game, but you saw it like they just took their foot off the gas. It was 3-1, then it was 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, and then you're just like, okay, what's going on here? But yeah, they settled. They killed that penalty off towards the end of the second, and then got the offense going again in the third. And I think that was kind of probably the talk in the dressing room is that was pretty evident that things kind of they were playing a little relaxed towards the end of the second period, so they got their pep talk and kind of took over again in the third.
It's one of those games where it was the first game of the year. I think they didn't have over 30 shots. They got outshot 38-25. They got outshot in the third period. I think 8-0 to start it. Like it didn't start. First shot of the third period was a Mercier breakaway that went in. It proves that there is firepower on this team, that they don't need to pump 40 shots at a time, but you can't take your foot off the gas. And yes, Sherbrooke was the number 4 team coming into this game, and they got off to a decent start in terms of who they're playing. I mean, they beat Baie-Comeau, which is not, Baie-Comeau wasn't what they were last year, but they're a good team. Full marks for them. But yeah, that was a tough weekend for for Sherbrooke to get beat 3-0 against St. John. I'm guessing they probably hate country music too by the time they get out of the Maritimes.
Yeah.
Country night in St. John with some sweet jerseys.
Didn't like them. Didn't like them.
It's one of the things we disagree on. 3-0 there, 9-3 against Moncton. I think they lost 4-1 or something like that to Halifax the next night. Like just a tough weekend for them. But one way to fix your power play is going 3 for 6, and they seem to kind of have their power play a little bit fixed, especially in that game and into the game against the Islanders.
Yeah, that was kind of the benefit of the game is 50% of the power play is pretty good. If you can get 50% all season, you're on fire. And even 30, I think even 33% on a power play will be pretty good. No, they seem to have kind of figured out their. I wouldn't necessarily say figured it out.
No, in that game they figured things out and had a real good power play there.
Yeah, I can't say the same for the game against Charlottetown. It was a little too much passing, a little too many. It just wasn't there. It wasn't crisp. But what was the power play on against Charlottetown?
1 for 4.
1 for 4, so 25. I mean, so that's to go what 4 for 10.
Mm-hmm.
In 2 games, there's your 40% right there. So that's still pretty darn good. But no, the Charlottetown game, it was the power play just wasn't the same as it was against Sherbrooke.
No, so after coming out of like those 2 games, the power play is up to 19.4%, which is climbing into 12th. The PK though, I think it's number 2 in the league.
Yeah.
At least it was number 2 in the league behind Halifax. Still number 2, tied with Drummondville and Bathurst at 88.6%. I think that's a big key is when teams are getting power plays, and this team we'll go right into the Sunday or the Monday Thanksgiving game. Jerseys, pure fire, absolutely. Other than the numbers, which is the number one
only thing I'd fix is the numbers.
Yeah, that's the number one thing I heard around the rink on Monday was the numbers.
Yeah.
And when I was down below and you saw them, they were kind of a faded gray, which looked really nice. But shout out to Marty. That could not have been easy. Even sitting up in the booth trying to see the numbers of the guys that were skating, I'm like, I know how these guys skate, and I can't figure out who was who. And so that's probably the only thing that I would fix on them. And I guarantee they'll have new numbers on those that'll be red.
Yeah. Because the names were red, right?
The names were all red, yeah.
See, that doesn't make, to me, it doesn't make sense. If the names are in red, why aren't the numbers?
Yeah. Yeah, they could have been in full red or even white with a red trim or something like that. Just, I feel a lot of times these jerseys are designed, and Shawinigan had the Superman jerseys for their Heroes Night. They get designed and they look awesome, and they come out looking great, and nobody worries about the play-by-play guy up in the booth that has to look down at these numbers. And it was the same when I was in Tampa with the City Connects for the Jays and the Rays. Like, can't see the numbers, and I was sitting pretty close at one point. I couldn't even see, and they were bright teal, and I couldn't see the numbers. So they will wear them more. I did not expect them to have masks, like matching masks for the jerseys for whatever reason. I thought they were going to come out in their regular Moncton Wildcat masks.
Oh yeah.
But they were like, we saw the gear, we saw the tees of the gear and stuff like that. But wear them again. And I don't know when they're gonna, but I hope they put out a schedule roughly soon so that they can get ahead of it. I just keep them for Thursdays. I just start pumping them out. Maybe not this Thursday, but every Thursday after. There's only 5 home games, or 5 total Thursday night games. 4 of them are home. I'd wear them on the home games Thursday night. So that's a selling feature of Thursday night games when you don't generally draw.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, Thursdays weren't great for us last year, so hopefully we can kind of reverse that that trend. But
I wonder if I have that.
I remember that pretty well.
Oh my goodness, I completely forgot about that stat.
Yeah, but I think you'll probably see them more probably in, I would say, rivalry, like big rivalry games, like
division games, maybe.
Yeah, like I say, like against Halifax and St. John, like those games there. To me, I don't think it would make sense to wear them for a game against Val-d'Or, for example. I mean, it's not a draw, but I really hope they can get some red on those numbers by the time they wear them again, because I was struggling.
Yeah. So they got St. John this Thursday, which we'll talk about here in a bit. And then you're talking about rivalry games and division games. They got November 14th is St. John.
Mhm.
Oh, there goes my pen. January 16th is Charlottetown. February 6th is Cape Breton. Oh, I can bring my baby to a game at Black Jersey.
Oh.
And then the 13th is Shawinigan. So
Yeah.
you could pretty much wear them every Thursday. I found the stats for last Thursday. You want to relive those for fun?
No, let's not.
All right,
Let's
we'll
not.
save
Let's
that. I mean, we
no.
do have
Let's-
Thursday. Yeah.
Let's get off to a good start on Thursdays.
Yeah.
Let's not.
We had the preseason contender ones too. That was just
Let's
as
not
bad.
get into those.
For those, it didn't go well. We lost more than we won. We'll talk about that. And we got outscored by double.
Yeah.
So that's all you need to know on Thursdays. So let's come out with a good effort on Thursday. It was not good times last year, and it didn't matter. Home or road, it was just bad. I think for me in the Charlottetown game, I think that's probably as close to a 60-minute effort as I've seen this season, like a full 60. They probably took about 5 to 6 minutes off. I think you said in about a second. And that was a lot of the penalties.
Kills. Yeah.
And I mean, the diamond tripping one, like he one-handed taps the guy's skates. He goes down, which is fine. I mean, he's trained to go down, try and get a penalty. But then Mercy on a breakaway, the ref is legit
Watching
it. And I don't know if he thought Mercier went down too easily.
I think I believe the reason why he didn't call it was because Mercier was holding Buddy's stick.
Could have been too, yeah.
So he was just saying, you know what, let him go, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I saw it pretty clear as day. It was Mercier had a nice hold on the stick there. So I think he could have made the call could have went either way, and he just let them play.
Yeah.
But no,
Got another penalty shot. We're 1 for 1 this year.
Loshing had him beat too.
Oh yeah. Oh, did he ever have him beat?
I think he's snake bitten a little bit ever since we talked to him about getting 100 goals he hasn't scored. I don't think, right? Because he hasn't scored since me since I mentioned it on a post game interview. So that's my bad, and hopefully he can get back into the swing of things there this week. Because there's some big games coming up.
There are some big games. I'm just trying to see if, I mean, he did make a nice pass on the 2-on-1.
Yeah, I think I was like, oh, geez, Lotion passing on a 2-on-1.
Yeah,
Yes, seen it all now.
when did we talk to him about that? Is that the Halifax game?
Whenever we interviewed him, because we lost. Because we've never interviewed Loshing after a win.
Yeah,
So it was the Halifax game.
yeah, it would have been Halifax at Moncton. Yeah.
Because he had 3.
He had 3 against Charlottetown. Yeah, so he has
yeah.
not scored since those 3 against Charlottetown.
Yeah, so
He's had assists, but he just hasn't put the puck in.
points are points, but
Points are points,
he's here to score goals, and
He is. Yep. I think both teams, especially Charlottetown, were trying to be a little bit more conservative penalty wise after they took 11 penalties the last time these two teams played. And I asked both Warren and Cormier on the podcast post game that you can see on our YouTube, did this feel like a trap game? Because to me, it kind of felt like a trap game. You had the number 4 team in Sherbrooke come in. You've got St. John on Thursday. You got the playoff rematch against Chicoutimi, and it could have been a trap game with, like you said, Denway coming back, black jerseys, Warren getting to start. Looked real good in that start as well.
Yeah.
Had all the makings of a not the best effort.
Yeah, usually when there's so many good things going on,
Yeah.
you don't always get the best, which is kind of why I had a feeling it wasn't going to be a good performance, but I was wrong here. And the one thing I did want to mention to you before the game against Sherbrooke, I don't know why I didn't say it. I just went to the rink feeling as if there was going to be an offensive performance,
Like an output.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know why I didn't say it. I just had a feeling it was going to be the game. The offense would break out, and it did. So I don't know. Sometimes I'm good. Sometimes I'm right. Sometimes I'm wrong.
It's nice to see though. Like last year, a couple times, the team that played the night before came in and looked fresher than the team that didn't play the night before in Moncton, and there was the concert. So I was actually the opposite of you. I was a little bit worried about this being like a 2-1 final 3 minutes of the third period. They get the goal because, and I don't know how long late the kids were out or anything like that, but just concert that they could have gone to. I just was worried about that the night before, but Etienne Morin, number 2 all time.
Yeah, that's right. And on a thing said about from the team.
Yeah, we're on it.
So we're on it. I know how many points he needs.
What does he need? 27?
It's less than that now.
Is it?
I think. One. See, no, I don't. No, I don't. He had two on Monday.
He had one. He's at 159.
So on the record's 181. So it's
everybody at home is just mapping this out. It's Monday of a holiday. Give us a break.
Yeah, I'm tired, man. What is it? 181 minus 159.
Yeah.
So he's 22. 22 from the record. 23 breaks it. So yeah, in significantly less games.
Yeah.
So no, if you're not if you don't know what we're talking about, Morin is currently second all time in points by defenseman in Wildcats history. So he's 22 behind James Sanford, and 23 gets him the record.
Yep. Sanford had 55 goals and 126 assists. And Morin's got 44 goals and 115 assists in those, but in quite a few less.
Yes.
Less
games. He's going to get it for sure. It's just a matter of when, and that's going to be something else, because I remember when Garland got the points record.
Mm-hmm.
There was a standing ovation for at least a few minutes. So don't know if it's going to be as extravagant as that there, but no, it's going to be good. And for a guy who a couple weeks ago was, I'm not going to say what was being said about him, but some not so pleasant things are being said about him, and those are the ones that probably go to one game a year.
Yep.
And the one game a year just happened to be the game where he would probably do whatever it takes to take it back, right? So it's those are just the keyboard warriors who like to go online and talk smack about players because they had one bad game, when really at the end of the day he's probably one of the better defensemen they've had so far this year.
Yeah, it's a full 180 of what we saw last year compared to this year, and that's top down the roster of the guys that were here last year. Just the difference that we've seen. So now we turn our attention to the finishing up the homestand, the 5-game homestands. They've got they've got St. John and Chicoutimi this week. Again, this is that week where, coming into the season, you're looking at St. John is like, oh, well, we should be, those are games we should get. They're 2-0 in their last 2. They're 6-3 this season. I mean, they have not lost on the road this year. This is going to be a good set of games between Moncton, St. John, and Chicoutimi. Yeah,
and you could make the argument that they're going to be looking ahead to that rematch on Friday night against Chicoutimi. So you can't be looking ahead on the schedule. You got to focus on the task at hand and go in there Thursday night and take care of business, because yes, you play St. John Thursday and you play Chicoutimi Friday, but you've also got that game in Sydney on Sunday. So you're playing 3 games in 4 games here, right? So that's going to be a tough. It's going to be tough, and I don't think it's
a Sydney team that's not what they were 2 weeks ago.
No, they've of course they went 3-0 on a Quebec road trip, and everything is tickety boo back in Sydney. It's they won their first game. They got 2 wins against mediocre opponents, one of them in a shootout, and hey, they're firing on all cylinders right now. Don't watch out there. The Eagles are flying.
Yeah. Special teams looking at St. John, they're 21%. Penalty kills about 87%. So you're going to have to stay out of the box here. I mean, you look at what they've done to where they are now for Moncton, and it is completely different in terms of when we talk to coaches and stuff of just wait till we get everyone. Just wait till we have some practices, and to a man, they all said that. And then you got the rematch with Chicoutimi where we know what they did to us last year. Like, they just absolute ran our show. They're a good team. Vermette, Gaudette, Gagnon, Massey, DeRousseau, Guite.
Mhm.
Like this is a team that might not be set up till next year, but they made some noise last year, and they're probably able to make some noise this year.
Yeah, for sure. And Massey, I believe, is out. He went down. I can't remember when it was there, but it was an unfortunate injury. Let's put it that way. So I don't know if he'll be back.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll be back on Friday for that one, but it's going to be a good matchup to see where this is probably going to be the game that all of these players have circled on their calendars before the season, knowing that what they did to us here in March of this year. So it's a good opportunity for some revenge, and I know revenge doesn't mean the same in the regular season as it does in a playoff, but no, I think they're looking forward to this one. And 80s night. 80s night on Friday.
It is 80s night on Friday. Yep.
Yeah,
it's Thursday night football night on
right.
Thursday.
Don't forget to wear your football jersey to a hockey game.
A jersey foul.
They're
trying.
Yeah, they're doing what they can. So Thursday night football on Thursday. 80s night on Saturday, Friday. And then the Arkells. 80s night on Friday, then the Arkells on Saturday.
Yeah, and looking at the schedule, Chicoutimi plays Bathurst on Thursday, us on Friday. So it's not like we're going to be primed waiting for Chicoutimi. Both teams are going to play the night before against some quality opponents. So, it'll be as even as it can. I know I was looking, we play Chicoutimi, unfortunately, both times before the Christmas trade period. So, but yeah, you'll have to get contributions from everywhere. And a guy that you talked about early in the season, that every game he comes and is doing something that gets him noticed, and that's Gabe Smith.
Big Gabe.
Like I might have undersold to what his camp was going to be. Like it has paid off massive dividends early in this season.
And
playing center too.
A change behind the bench can do wonders for a player's confidence and their overall likeness of the sport. He didn't see much of this out of him last year, and he was fortunate enough to get drafted and be the first Q player to get drafted. And he's just used that as, come on.
No, he wasn't the first Q player. Dylan Gill got drafted, and somebody else got drafted. Or Spencer Gill got drafted before Gabe.
Why was he not the first?
He was the first. Well, he was the only Wildcat.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah, somebody was telling me that. I don't mean to correct you.
No, but he was drafted before Thomas Lavoie.
Yeah. He was
drafted before Justin Poirier.
Yep.
Spencer Gill was. Where the heck did he get drafted?
Because where did Gabe got drafted in the third round, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spencer Gill, second round. Okay.
Maxime Essay was third round to Anaheim.
So was he after Massey? See, now I'm confused. Anyways, who cares?
Yeah. Anyways,
he's just
one of the first five top three.
He's having a monster start to the season, which is good. I knew it was coming. I knew he just needed a change of leadership behind the bench, and just the confidence of being NHL drafted can be a huge change. And he is a difference maker out there.
Just getting
blowing by guys.
Oh, and not only is he like you see the difference, but he's not just playing the wing. Last year he played exclusively the wing. Mm-hmm. Now he's having to play center, which is not easy to do on the third line. Third line is different than top six, but still going from the wing to center in 1 year, and he's excelling. Like today's goal or Monday's goal against Charlottetown just was a simple move to the net, and he flicked it over the goaltender, and it just dribbled over. You didn't see those plays driving to the net from Gabe. It was, if I can't get there, I'm gonna go all the way around and try and make a pass. Now he's using his size and trying to get to the net.
Yeah, he's going to the net, which is awesome. That's what you need. You need to use the body, and it's like 3 or 4 times on Monday where he went around the defenseman.
Yeah,
right? Like he's just bouncing off the boards and making it pass.
And he's
a
standing
totally
in front of the
different
net
player
on the power play.
Yeah, totally different player.
Yeah,
great. Love to see it.
All right, you ready for everyone's favorite part of the show?
Yes, I am.
All righty.
Eric Murray, Realtor. Buy a house from him. Stick tap of the week.
Okay. Stick tap of the week. We got a buddy of ours, a listener of our show, a big follower, Denis Doiron.
Yeah.
Got married over the weekend, and anybody had fallen around, he was you could bet on his wedding. So I don't know how.
So I'd love to have him on to talk about that. Like, did you put these bets and then you had no idea what they were? Like, did somebody make these for you?
Yeah.
So you didn't know how to influence these? Like,
I don't understand the concept behind it, but that's just the character that he is.
And nobody was shocked by it.
No, absolutely not.
He pretends it was his wife's idea.
Yeah. So shout out to Denis for getting married, and congratulations on you losing your wedding ring within 48 hours after the ceremony.
Yeah.
That's quite the accomplishment. Me, I'm going on 7 years, and it's still on my finger. So you're off to a good start there, bud. Congratulations. And honorary stick tap to the Moncton High School Purple Knights football team for taking home the annual homecoming game against Trimble. I said last week that it was going to be an important game for playoff scenarios, and it was a big win. So I don't know if he still listens to our show, but if he does, in your face, Ethan Leal.
I wonder if that is the gentleman that I saw in the elevator today that he's like, you still do you know who Jeremy Boucher is? And I was like, yeah, I do the podcast with him. Oh, yeah. And that's really all he said. Like, I don't know who it was, but he was just like, yeah. I was like, okay, cool. Like, trying to find, I thought we had a stick tap, an honorary stick tap that I sent you or you sent me that I can't remember.
What was it about?
Five Bridges.
Oh yes, their promotion with Dylan McKinnon.
Yeah.
You're right, eh? What was that? Somebody for every point he gets, he's going to donate, or they're going to donate $5 or 50 cents or something. Here it is right here. So Five Bridges will be donating $50 for every Dylan McKinnon point to the Riverview Minor Hockey.
Nice.
There you go. A good partnership there. On behalf of Dylan and Five Bridges. Yeah, so there you go. So good on them. Rob Taylor and all the folks over at Five Bridges. Good people, good food, good spot to go to before and after a game. It's almost like doing a marketing campaign for him here.
That, so he's got 1 point so far. So in 6 games, they've donated $50, but he's playing back in Halifax here in the start of November. So
that's right.
Look for an explosive one there.
And a reminder to all the Halifax fans and to Dylan McKinnon and Marcus Vidchak, please be easy on the fans. They'll be extremely sensitive in regards to your return.
Correct.
The Stick Tap of the Week, sponsored by Eric Murray Real Estate with the RE/MAX Avante team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Greater Moncton or surrounding area, make sure to check him out on social media or give him a call at 506-863-8802.
And that brings us to the Wildcat of the Week, presented by Rosemary, Lynns Massage and Spa. For the month of October, they have extended the 40% off all spa services. And don't forget, they have the loyalty card. Buy 9 spa services, get 1 free. Call them at 506-830-1224 or stop in at 1224 Mountain Road. He's probably been the most consistent player for the Wildcats to begin this season. He had 5 points over the weekend, including 2 goals Monday. He seems to be enjoying playing on the wing. It's kind of the opposite of Gabe. Last year, he was the third line center that kind of drove that third line behind the MCL line. This year, he's getting up into the top 6. He's enjoying the spots with Vidchak. They seem to have a bit of a connection there. Your Wildcat of the Week is number 26, Sumph Pump, Julius Sumph. That'll do it for our show this week. Couple notes of the upcoming games. They finished the homestand Thursday night with a Thursday night football game. So commit a jersey foul and wear your NFL jersey at a hockey game. That's against St. John, and then the playoff rematch Friday against Chicoutimi. It is 80s night, so get the hair, get the I don't even know what I wore in the 80s. Sun ice, fluorescent colors. What else did I wear? That's pretty much it.
Yeah, a lot of pink, lime green,
a lot of lime green. Yeah.
I'll see what I can pull out of my arsenal.
Hopefully, we get some of the same. I mean, the music's been good. The country night, the 2000s night. They may not have jerseys for every night, and they may not change anything else, but the music factor, they're doing it right. And the 2000s night, they asked fans for songs. I ended up asking fans for songs for country night. Got some of those played, so they're doing a great job. There is going to be a bus trip. We just talked about that game in Halifax on November 3rd. There will be a bus trip. Make sure to sign up. Some details left. Only 12 seats. Only 12 seats left on the bus. $60 includes your ticket to the game and on the bus trip. And the bus leaves at 11 o'clock a.m. They will have, the fan club will have a desk set up between section 121 and 122 on the Thursday game until they sell out, or the Friday game as well. There is another bus trip planned for December 8th. It's a Sunday afternoon against St. John. No details on that yet, but that's just what I was told. There is another bus trip in the works. So if you hadn't signed up for it on the Monday night game or the Monday afternoon game, you still have a chance. But they're dwindling. 12 seats left. They're a good time. We will not be on the bus this time, but we will be there for that one. And maybe we'll go to St. John on the bus.
Maybe. It's a good little trip. Short and sweet. Yep.
All right. That's it for us as well. You can hear us on the Q103 Go Home Show with Brock Gallant, updating you on the week that was for the Wildcats. For Jeremy, I'm Adam. See you next week.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Wildcast podcast. Follow us on social media at Moncton Wildcast.